Feedback is an invaluable tool and a habit for personal and professional growth. It provides us with insights, uncovers some dark spots that we have and we don't know about them. It also helps us improve our skills and relationships. Do you agree? But it's very hard to get the real feedback from people. Maybe because they're too nice and they cannot share the whole feedback with you, maybe thinking that you'll feel bad about it. There are people who may not be very interested in knowing what's happening in your life and how you're doing your work. They don't want to invest too much time into you, or they're too intimidated by you, right? So they're not able to give you the right feedback. Hello everyone, this is Sonia and you with me on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays, and we're having coffee. Let's get started with today's episode on how to seek for meaningful feedback from people. But before we start, have you subscribed to my channel? Yes? Now, to succeed in our lives, we need clarity. Do you agree? We need clarity, and it's not just about where we want to go, but we also need clarity about our actions, about our plans, about our habits, how are we conducting ourselves, how are we talking, how are we presenting. So we need clarity on all of that, right? And seeking feedback is that light that brings that clarity. Right? To improve ourselves, to course correct ourselves wherever we are going wrong, to improve our productivity, to maximize the results that we can achieve, to go to our full potential and work in a better manner, right? Because that will then change the perception of people about you. That will show that you are very committed in whatever work that you're doing, right? As much as it's very difficult to ask for feedback, it's equally difficult to implement the feedback also, because there are many people who will ask for feedback for the heck of it. Okay, fine, give me feedback. They'll keep gathering feedback, but they'll not be very open to implementing many things that will come on the way. Or when the feedback is coming their way, they'll just their mind will be like shut and they don't want to talk about it, right? So let's look at first, how do you ask for feedback, right? And then what can you do to take that feedback in a more constructive manner, in a more positive manner, right? So first thing, choose the right moment. Now, if you want to have a very meaningful, honest conversation with the other person, you need to know when is the right time you need to approach that person. Now, if someone has just come out from maybe a 1 hour, 2 hour long board meeting or some hectic presentation that the other person was doing, and the person comes out of the door, you go rushing, please give me feedback, please give me feedback. Now, the other person is mentally distracted, is mentally not here with you to look at what feedback do you want. The other person is stressed out, wants a cup of coffee, wants to just maybe just spend some time alone figuring out how the meeting went, what are the things that he has to course correct, etc. Right? And in between, you want your feedback. Just because you have the time, you're free right now, doesn't mean the other person also is free, right? So you need to value other people's time and their space also. So please ask feedback at the right moment. Now, you cannot even ask feedback supposing you've gone with your colleagues and there is some party happening and everybody's gone for dinner together from work, and you suddenly in that party where everybody is drinking and eating and listening to some good music and having fun, and you say, okay, I need feedback from you. I've been looking time from you, but you've been very busy, so please give me feedback. I need this feedback from you. Now, again, the other person has come to de-stress himself, relax and enjoy the whole evening, and here you go again asking for feedback. So please look at a right moment, and that right moment would be, you can even ask the other person that, I need some feedback from you related to my work. When is a good time I can come and meet you? Or when is a good time that we can talk about it? So either you do that, or maybe immediately after the lunch break and you know that the other person has just finished lunch, you can just pop in to say, hi, do you got 15-20 minutes? I need to speak to you. I need some real feedback. It's very important. So maybe you can do that, because if you want to have a very meaningful conversation, honest and open feedback, then you need to make sure that the other person is free mentally work-wise, and he's right present there in the moment with you to share the real feedback with you, right? Number 2, be very specific about your request. Now, I see a lot of people coming to me as well, and I initially used to also do that long back, years back. But when people come and ask me, okay, give me feedback about me. Now, I go into, okay, fine, you need feedback. But then I'm asking, do you need me to give you feedback on how you dress up to office? Or do you need to I need to give you feedback on your communication skills, on your presentation skills, or on your area of work that you're doing? So what is the feedback that I need to give you? So you need to be very specific as to what is the feedback that you want. If you really want that feedback to be very constructive and to help you grow and learn some things about your own self, clear the clouds and open those blind spots and get the light into those blind spots, right? So you need to ask them the right kind of questions, be very specific about it. And maybe you can say that, okay, fine, please give me feedback as to how I can improve in making these Excel sheets more interesting and more elaborate without being too complicated, etc. Or how can I make that presentation even more engaging with the audience, right? So be very specific what you want to ask, and then you will get the right feedback coming your way, which will help you grow in a better way, right? So the third one, choose the right person. Now, as much as it's important to ask a very specific question, it is also equally important whom you're asking for feedback, right? Now, if you are asking feedback from a person who's very experienced, who has the expertise in your area of work, then yes, you will get the right feedback from people. Now, if you're going to go and ask, say for example, you did a yearly marketing budget or a marketing rollout plan for the next year, and you go to the HR person to say, just look at it and give me your feedback. Or you go to a finance person to say that, look at this marketing rollout plan that I've made for next year. How does it look like? Give me some feedback. Now, they don't have the expertise of that area that you're asking them to give you feedback. Now, so which means then you're approaching the wrong person for the feedback. And if you need feedback, then you need to ask feedback from the person who has the experience and the expertise in your line of work, right? And also you need somebody who's trustworthy, who's not somebody who gossips around, who doesn't mean well for other people, who is not a very serious contributor to the whole growth of the team or the task, etc., who doesn't have a good reputation in the company as well. So look for people who are very trustworthy and who have your best interest in the heart, right? You want that. That's the only way you will get the real feedback coming your way, which will help you uncover or look at areas where you need to improve yourself or develop your skills, right? So do that. Choose the right person for asking for feedback. Now the next is create a very safe and non-judgmental space when you're asking for feedback. Now you need to emphasize that what you want is you want to learn and grow, and that is the reason you're asking for feedback. So it's not like you're not very serious about your work and you just for the heck of it, somebody asked you, go take a feedback, so you went and took the feedback. No. So when you're asking for feedback, you need to very politely tell the other person also that, the reason I'm asking this feedback is because I want to learn and grow. I'm not able to figure out these things. I need help from you, and I've done this as a draft. Can you please look and tell me, have I gone wrong somewhere, or can I improve it, or can I explore a different route of it? So please create a very safe place for them. Also, because many a times the feedback, when they start coming in, we start justifying our actions. Now we are asking for feedback, right? We are not there. There's not like a debate happening or a conversation happening where the other person is saying and you have to justify your actions. You wanted feedback and you've gone to the other person asking for feedback, then you need to open your mind to it and be very respectful, and then hear the other person out, whatever that they're trying to say. So if you want to encourage for a candid and a meaningful conversation and a meaningful feedback coming to you, then you need to be very open to constructive criticism, the right feedback that is coming your way. You cannot make assumptions about the other person. You cannot start hating the other person and say, okay fine, this person also always criticizes me, I'm never going to talk to the other person. So don't do that, because then don't ask for feedback. If that's the way your nature is, then don't ask for feedback. Don't go to people saying, okay please tell me how am I doing these things, right? So if you're not a very sporty person, then don't do that. But if you're not going to do that, then you're stopping your growth, and I don't think that you want to stop your growth, right? So please start asking for constructive feedback and create a very non-judgmental space around you and the other person, so that the other person can talk very freely what is there in their mind, and how you can improve yourself. They'll give you then the right feedback. Now next one is ask open-ended questions. Now if you want someone to give you feedback which is very elaborate, which is very detailed, right, giving you much more insight into how you can do things around, then you need to ask open-ended questions. Now if you go to somebody and you say that, okay fine, is my dress looking fine, the person will say either yes or no. Or I've made 18 slide presentation, is it okay, or do I need to add more slides? The other person will say, okay, add 2 more slides, or I think reduce 2 slides, meeting time is only this much, you'll not be able to cover that much. Now is that the right feedback that you want for yourself? No, right? So start asking for very open-ended questions. Maybe you can say, what do you think went well in the project, and what could have been improved? What do you think, how can I improve my communication skills? Or is there any specific areas do you think that I'm very good in, and do you think there are some areas that I need to develop as a professional, which will help me in my career? Please, I need some feedback on that. So you're asking very specific and very open-ended questions, right, where the person will not just answer in yes and no. The person will give you more details about what you want to know, so that you can improve yourself. So start asking for very open-ended questions, right? Now when the other person is giving you feedback, please listen carefully, because I've seen a lot of people, when the feedback starts transforming or translating or starts coming to you, you shut your mind, because then your mind is somewhere else, or you're working on, okay fine, he's given this idea. When the person is giving you feedback, the person might be giving you 5 points, but on the first point itself your mind is running into, how do I implement this, how do I do this, and you've forgotten what the other 4 points the other person was talking about, right? So when you're utilizing somebody else's precious time to help you grow and learn better about your own skills, then you need to please value their time and listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're offering you as an advice, as a feedback. So please, if you think that you have a customer call to make in the next 20 minutes, then don't go and ask for feedback. If you think it's going to be a very lengthy discussion, then make sure that you are also free, the other person is also free. Keep at least 30 minutes of time with you, right? So that you're not missing out on meeting any other deadlines that you have, right? So please ask for feedback, but listen very carefully, be very attentive, because if the other person finds out that you're not listening only, and then again you're asking a question, then the other person will say, oh, what the hell, why did you waste my time if you were not mentally only present here and you didn't wanted to even hear out what I was saying, right? So please listen actively, and then once you've listened, please thank the other person for sharing their feedback. Because I've seen many a times we take the feedback, but we're not showing gratitude to the other person, and we don't mean thank you. We thought, okay fine, it was their work, it was his job to give me feedback. No, nobody's job is to give feedbacks. It is, they are also trying to help you out. So if somebody is trying to help you out, then please genuinely thank them, that thank you so much, the feedback was very helpful, I'm gonna for sure try and improve in these areas, and maybe I'll seek feedback at a later time to see whether I've improved in those areas. So please thank the other person. That shows that yes, you respect the other person's time, you respect the other person's feedback, and people will then perceive you as a very genuinely interested kind of a person who wants to learn and grow, right? Now once you've thanked the other person, now the next thing you need to, the last thing that I want to talk about is implement and follow up. Now it's very easy to keep gathering feedback from people. Okay, tell me this, tell me that, tell me this. Now if you're not going to be taking any action, sorry, that's a train going close by. So if you're not going to be taking any action on the feedback that is being given to you, then it has no meaning. That feedback has no meaning. So for example, if your colleague has told you that, in your presentation, start including some infographics, some pie charts, some diagrams and pictures to make it more interactive and more interesting for the listeners who are sitting in that meeting and hearing you out in that presentation. So if the next time you're going for the meeting, you still make it very content heavy, the other person will say, what a waste. Why did this person waste my time? If the other person just didn't want to follow the feedback through, then what was the use? Next time if you go to that person, the person will show you a tinga. He'll say, oh, go take a walk. I know you don't need any feedback. You will not implement anything, the feedback that we give you. So it's of no use. So don't do that. Please take action after a feedback has been suggested, because that's for your betterment. You needed feedback. Now when the feedback has come, take action on it. So next time when you present a similar, say maybe a marketing deck or something, and you've included some infographics, some pictures, some pie charts to compare year on year progress, etc., the other person sitting in the room will feel very proud of, will feel very happy about it, that wow, he really respected or she respected my time and my feedback, and see, there is a drastic change in the way they have they're conducting the meeting also. So please value the feedbacks that are coming to you. Please value the people who are giving you the feedback, because that's for your own betterment and for your own growth, right? So please take it as the feedback is a gift that a person is giving you for your own growth in the journey that you're making a career, for you as a professional, where they're unlocking certain doors which the keys you've lost. Take it as that there are many doors in front of you when you're starting your career. You'll find there are so many doors which are like obstacles coming, where you're not understanding how to figure out to open that door. And feedback is the key that will help you open those doors, right? On that note, I'm going to end my Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. I hope you found this content very useful and very helpful. Yes, on that note, let me end my Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. Please do subscribe to my channel if not done so yet, and have a fabulous Thursday everyone, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye bye.